As an INFJ, I feel people difficult to understand me and so rarely to meet somebody who does. Why don't people understand me? Please help. No one likes me. My relatives hate me. I feel I feel the same way, actually. Um, Most people don't make an effort to understand you. And I think that that's the first thing to understand, right? When you're trying to figure out why people don't like you, why they don't understand you, you have to meet them with their level of understanding. You have to understand that most people don't want to understand. Most people don't put forth the effort to understand people. Most people are very self-centered and self-focused. They're only concerned with themselves. They're concerned with their life, their job, their kids, their husband or wife. They're focused on how things affect them. If you know their personality type, it's a little bit easier to figure out how to communicate with them, right? So if your friend or the person that you want to understand you, if they have a thinking personality type and you keep coming at them with feelings, they're not going to understand you because they don't have deep feelings like you do. They think about things logically and rationally. If you're an introvert and you're quiet and shy and the people around you are mostly extroverted and outgoing, they're not going to understand you and they're probably not going to like you either, because they're used to people who are loud and outgoing, and here's somebody who's quiet and likes to be alone and they're like, what's wrong with you? Not that there's something wrong with you, that's just the way that people think. So you have to look at their level of understanding, right? Remember that most people are self-centered and that they don't want to understand. So if your way of making them understand is to try to explain yourself to them, they don't care. And that's just going to make it worse, unfortunately. I think that the idea that no one likes you, because I've had that idea myself, I've realized that I was trying to make people like me who didn't. I thought that if people didn't like me, then it was my job to make people like me. I thought that, if I could be the teacher's pet and be the helper at home and be the best at my job, that people would like me because I was doing a good thing for them. I was helping them, I realized that most people liked me less because of those things, because they saw me as the goody two shoes or the brown noser or, the person who always did all the work and got all the awards. And rather than liking me, they would want me to do their work. And they wouldn't like me. They didn't like me to begin with, and then they wouldn't like me if I didn't do their work. So I think the idea that no one likes you isn't correct. Maybe the people around you aren't particularly happy with you, but that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're all the people in the world. There are almost 8 billion people in the world. And just because the few people that you're surrounded with aren't particularly taken with you, that doesn't mean that there's nobody in the world that will like you. You just have to find your people. The last part of the question was, my relatives hate me. I understand what you're talking about. I don't really know most of my family, my extended family. The people that I do know, I really haven't had a great relationship with. The ones that I liked have passed away. I liked my great grandma a lot and she passed away. I liked one of my grandpas a lot and he passed away too. The one aunt that I had that I liked, that I talked to from time to time, she passed away suddenly and unexpectedly just a couple of months ago. And to me, it's really sad that I haven't known a lot of my relatives, and that the ones that I did know that I liked have already passed away. And there's been a lot that I don't even know who they are. I look at other people who have these big families that they spend a lot of time with and they get along with, and I'm kind of envious of them, honestly, because I haven't had that experience. When I was growing up, My mom never liked her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law never liked her. And it wasn't just specific to my mom and her mother-in-law. There were other people in our family that were like, they just didn't like each other. And so when I've met people now who like their mother-in-law, I'm like, what? You have a good relationship with your in-laws? I didn't know that could happen. I thought that it was just normal that people didn't like their in-laws and their in-laws didn't like them. So I realized that there's a lot of my family that was maybe not great and not a good example, and not really the experience that everybody else has too. It's difficult when your relatives don't like you and you don't like your relatives. I have 3 siblings. I don't talk to any of them. My brother has autism, and so he doesn't really like talking on the phone. And honestly, I don't really think he likes me that much. He's 9 years younger than me, and we never really had that much in common. Both of my sisters have severe problems with narcissism. And, one of them has a substance abuse problem. The other one is just very self-centered and narcissistic. And so I don't talk to either of them. And there have been times in our life where we've had close relationships with both of them. And so to me, it's really sad that we don't have close relationships now. And I feel bad. And sometimes I feel like I want to fix it, but I know that the one who has substance abuse problems, she still has those problems, and she's not the person that I used to know. And there's nothing I can do to help her because she doesn't think that she has a problem and she doesn't want help. She has to decide that she has a problem and that she wants help in order for me to help her. And the other one, she doesn't think that she's ever done anything wrong. And so me reaching out to her isn't going to change anything, because she doesn't even want to recognize how she's hurt me and how she's hurt other members of our family. And so it's difficult, being in that situation where you don't have a close family and you don't really have any relatives that you even talk to. I understand that. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know that there is a fix for it. I think that it's better to find people that you get along with and that you like and who value and appreciate you. I think that's why a lot of people feel like their friends are more like their family, because a lot of people, their friends treat them better than their family ever has. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just the experience of some people. And, you do the best that you can do with what you have.
Learn more about your INFJ personality on my podcast, The Quiet Ones. The Quiet Ones is a weekly show where we dive into understanding self-love, depression, anxiety, and so much more from an INFJ perspective. I offer up in-depth coaching and unmatched empathy. Join me for an amazing personal growth experience. The Quiet Ones podcast is available on all major podcast platforms and at thequietonespodcast.com. Hi there! I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm working very hard to produce content that will help you, and I really, really appreciate your support. Also, if you want some more inspiration, check out this video right here.